This is Nightline and I am Zahir, Kelvin Abdullah. The headlines. Government approves funding for 4 billion ringgit water distribution project to Bukit Merah Dam. And PM to announce good news on essential food items on Sunday. The government has in principle agreed to approve an allocation for the implementation of a raw water distribution project from Sungai Perak to the Bukit Merah Dam to provide treated water supply to northern Perak and Pulau Pinang, which is estimated to cost 4 billion ringgit. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim said part of the project will support the Korean Integrated Green Industrial Park, KIGIP, in northern Perak.
Dari Korean terus ke seberang perai. Jadi caw berita baik untuk Pulau Pinang. Dana yang diperlukan untuk pengurusan air ini sahaja mencecah hampir 4 bilion ringgit. Dan kerajaan bersetuju berdasarnya, walaupun bukan untuk tahun ini permulaan awal kita akan sediakan kerana projek ini kita harus jadikan projek keutamaan untuk kepentingan rakyat Perak, terutama utara Perak dan juga air di seberang perai selatan.
Anwar said this when launching the KIGIP master plan in Bagan Surai, Perak on Saturday. He stated that the water management project in Sungai Perak is among the long-term measures by the government to address water supply issues faced by the people. It will also be used for irrigation and provide treated water for drinking, as well as serve industrial needs in northern Perak and southern Pulau Pinang. Anwar, who is also the finance minister, noted that the KIGIP marks a significant project for the country, encompassing advanced technology, artificial intelligence and energy transition. He added that the approval for the proposed interchange from KIGIP to the North-South Expressway, estimated to cost 60 million ringgit, will be expedited to support KIGIP's development. Also present were Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Seri Fadilah Yusof, who is also the Energy Transition and Water Transformation Minister, and Perak Menteri Besar Datuk Seri Saarani Mohamad. Meanwhile, Anwar acknowledged that the targeted diesel subsidies being implemented now are not perfect, but assured that improvements will be made. However, he said that the subsidy issue should not be politicized because all political parties, including those from the opposition, agree on it.
Saya faham, ada orang kata, Anwar boleh buat lepas Sungai Bakap. Kata, besok boleh menang Sungai Bakap baru buat. Saya tak mahu macam tu. Saya kata dah janji, kita jalan. Dan saya percaya rakyat kita terangkan. Dan saya aneh kalau digunakan sebagai isu politik kerana semua parti politik setuju. Dan saya ucap terima kasih kerana Setiausaha Agung PAS keluarkan kenyataan. Kemudian dia faham kerana dia pun pernah umumkan di Parlimen cadangan kerajaan pada ketika itu untuk naikkan harga diesel. Tapi kita dalam kerajaan madani ini naikkan tapi tidak melibatkan rakyat.
Anwar also stated school bus operators and companies that have not received subsidies following the implementation of targeted diesel subsidies can still appeal, and if eligible, their applications will be considered. He also reiterated his warning to school bus operators who receive subsidies but hike fares that their licenses would be revoked. He added that he had instructed enforcement authorities to also monitor and impose severe penalties on companies that are already profitable but still raise the prices of goods and services. Communications Minister Fahmi Fadzil said Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim is expected to announce good news on essential food items on Sunday. Fahmi, who is also the Unity Government spokesman, however, did not reveal details of the announcement.
Kita tunggu daripada Perdana Menteri esok.
YB boleh bagi hint sikit ke? Sikit lah YB, intro.
Ya, dia intronya berkaitan dengan serba sedikit barang makanan ya, yang lazim kita makan seharian. Jadi ada berita baik daripada Perdana Menteri. Not more than that.
Beras ke?
Tunggu PM.
Speaking to reporters at an event in Pantai Dalam, Kuala Lumpur on Saturday, Fahmi added that the announcement is the result of good cooperation and understanding between the government and the industrial sector in an effort to assist the people. On another matter, the minister pointed out that implementation of the targeted diesel subsidy is the right move to curb smuggling activities. He stated that the Domestic Trade and Cost of Living Ministry has reported a significant difference in diesel sales patterns before and after the targeted diesel subsidy implementation on June 10th. The family of Zain Ryan Abdul Martin has been advised to lodge a police report if they feel threatened following the alleged leak of details in the autistic child's murder probe. Home Minister Datuk Sri Saifuddin Nasution Ismail said it is the police's responsibility to ensure the safety of the public and the smooth investigation of the case.
Kes ini dianggap kes yang berprofil tinggi. Insiden ini dah hampir 6 bulan dan hakikat bahawa perkembangan terkini yang berlaku yang mungkin setengah pihak dianggap memeranjatkan, tetapi pihak polis secara profesional mengumpul maklumat dengan penuh berhati-hati.
Saifuddin said this to reporters after opening the Kulim Bandar Baharu Jiwa Community Madani program in Bandar Baharu, Kedah on Saturday. He was commenting on statements by lawyers representing the parents of the child who reportedly did not rule out the possibility of requesting additional police protection for their clients who are now released on bail. The minister also reiterated his call for all quarters to give space to the police to complete its investigation into the murder in a professional and objective manner and advised the public to refrain from making any comments on social media that could disrupt the investigation. He stressed the police cannot act based on perceptions or vague information, adding that the probe needs to establish several key elements, including the motive. It was reported earlier that police will investigate the parties responsible for spreading the screenshots, allegedly of the investigation report involving the murder case, which have gone viral on social media. Zain Ryan was found dead in a stream near his apartment in Damansara Damai, Selangor in December last year. On June 13, his parents Zaim Ekwan Zahari and Isma Nira Abdul Manaf, both 29, claimed trial in the Sessions Court to a charge of neglecting him in a manner likely to cause him physical injury. Meanwhile, the Bukit Aman Classified Crime Investigation Unit is investigating the alleged leak of details in the Zain Ryan murder probe on social media. Selangor Police Chief Datuk Hussein Omar Khan said the investigation is being carried out under the Official Secrets Act, Penal Code and Communications and Multimedia Act. Hussein on Saturday confirmed that police have received 2 reports on the purported leaked information relating to the investigation report involving the Zain Ryan murder probe, one from the victim's family and the other from the case's investigating officer. He also reminded the public not to share contents classified under the Official Secrets Act as it would disrupt investigations and the trial. He also warned that legal action will be taken against individuals found sharing the contents. In the meantime, the Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Commission, MCMC, has made requests to social media platform providers to remove the purported leaked investigation information on the Zain Ryan murder case. In a statement on Saturday, the internet regulator said it had identified several social media platforms such as TikTok and Telegram where the alleged information has surfaced. According to the MCMC, the dissemination of these alleged investigation details is considered irresponsible and may disrupt the case trial. It also warned the public against sharing false and unverified information and advised them to delete any posts or comments that could lead to speculation. The Commission added that sharing false or misleading information is an offence under Section 233 of the Communications and Multimedia Act, and penalties include a fine of up to 50,000 ringgit, imprisonment of up to 1 year or both, and an additional 1,000 ringgit fine per day for continuing the said offences after conviction. 11 people are still hospitalized for salmonella bacterial infection related to the food poisoning case at a school in Gombak last week, which also claimed the lives of a 19-month-old girl and a 17-year-old boy. Health Minister Dr. Zulkifli Ahmad said the victims, who are still warded, are in stable condition and not showing any serious symptoms.
Di Gombak itu, yang sehingga kini apa yang disebutkan adalah salmonella poisoning, tapi lanjutan daripada yang lain yang lain daripada apa yang warded itu belum dapat kita secara lebih terperinci, tapi for the time being ini salmonella poisoning itu adalah telah pun dapat kita kenal pasti.
Dr. Zulkifli added that the salmonella poisoning in this particular case is unique because it resulted in acute poisoning earlier than usual, as normally it takes 6 to 8 hours for symptoms to appear. He also said that 105 individuals have been given treatment after suffering symptoms including diarrhea, abdominal pain, fever, vomiting, and nausea since the case was detected last Saturday. Oil slick covers Singapore beaches. News from the foreign front when we return.
لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك.
Pemeriksaan kesihatan wajib untuk bakal jemaah haji.
Perjalanannya agak panjang. Perlu ada persediaan, iaitu kesihatan mental dan juga fizikal.
Jangkitan paru-paru kerap berlaku ketika di Tanah Suci.
Punca utama adalah disebabkan oleh jangkitan saluran pernafasan.
Kalau ada penyakit yang kronik ini, dari awal kita rawat. Tak payah tunggu ke panggilan haji.
Kecergasan diri jemaah haji, perbincangannya dalam Hello Doktor Ahad 5.30 petang di TV3 dan stream juga melalui Tonton.
Menuntut keadilan yang terpendam.
Kita kena buat sesuatu. Tak boleh biarkan kumpulan gangster menguasai Kuala Lumpur.
Bersumpah pada kebenaran.
Takkan semudah itu untuk dia menyerah kalah.
Inilah perjuangan terakhir demi keamanan. Gerak khas The Finale setiap Ahad 11.30 pagi di TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Welcome back. Oil slicks stained the coast of several beaches in Singapore on Saturday, a day after a damaged cargo tank leaked oil into the sea at Pasir Panjang Terminal. Oil was seen at Sentosa's beaches at Palawan, Siloso and Tanjong, as well as at Sentosa Cove. The spill had also spread from Pasir Panjang Terminal after a Netherlands-flagged dredger struck a stationary Singapore-flagged bunker vessel on Friday afternoon. A spokesperson from Sentosa Development Corporation SDC said it was first alerted to instances of oil spillage in the waters around Palawan Beach at 9 p.m. local time on Friday, and as at 7 a.m. on Saturday, the oil slick had spread to the other beaches. SDC also announced that swimming and sea activities will be prohibited for the time being to facilitate an oil spill cleanup. Millions of Muslims from around the world converged on Mount Arafah near Mecca in Saudi Arabia on Saturday for the holiest day of the annual Hajj pilgrimage. According to a spokesperson for the National Meteorology Center, the temperature on Mount Arafah hit 46 degrees Celsius, creating taxing conditions for pilgrims who had spent the night in the giant tented city in Mina. In attempts to mitigate the extreme heat, Saudi authorities have put up a comprehensive system utilizing the latest ground cooling technologies, fire-resistant and heat-resistant tent materials, and modern air conditioning systems. Local media reported that some 1.8 million pilgrims participated in this year's Hajj, roughly the same as last year's total. Coming into day 253 of Israel's war on Gaza, Zionist missiles and shells continue to bombard many densely populated areas, killing and wounding dozens of Palestinians, including women and children, on Saturday. In Gaza City, the army continued the firing of missiles and shells at several neighborhoods, killing at least 19 Palestinians and wounding more than 50 others. Medics and rescue teams found the corpses of at least 10 Palestinians from homes that the army bombarded in the Shija'iyah and Tufah neighborhoods. Meanwhile, in markets usually bustling with people ahead of Eid al-Adha, a toned-down mood set the scene in Jerusalem this year, with the spectre of war and hunger in Gaza overshadowing the usually festive Muslim celebrations. The Palestinian Economy Ministry recently said the war in Gaza and a spike in violence and difficult economic situation in the West Bank has reduced the buying power of many Palestinians. Eid al-Adha marks the climax of the annual Hajj pilgrimage, when Muslims slaughter animals to commemorate the willingness of Ibrahim to sacrifice his son on God's command, often distributing meat to the poor. At least 5 people were killed and 6 others wounded in Ukrainian attacks on Friday in Russia's Volgorod region. Russia's emergencies ministry said 4 bodies had been pulled from the rubble of a multi-floor apartment building hit by Ukrainian shelling in the border town of Shebekino. According to the regional governor, another Ukrainian drone had struck a car in a village near the town, killing the driver. He also added that another woman was killed in her home after it was struck by rocket fire in the village of Oktyabrysky. Meanwhile, on the Ukrainian side of the border, military officials said a Russian airstrike on Friday killed 1 person in the town of Shotska. Ukraine has staged frequent attacks on Volgorod and other Russian border regions in recent months, as the Russian military said its troops seized about a dozen settlements, while Ukrainian officials say the advance has been contained. Zija storms into final sports when we come back.
Pencalonan baru Muzik 39 minggu ini. Siapakah yang bakal menjuarai carta Top 20 Muzik 39 minggu ini? Beraninya kau tikam belakangku. Tiada bintang kan bersinar berjurai. Semuanya dalam Muzik 39 Ahad ini jam 12.20 tengah hari di TV3 dan stream HD secara langsung di aplikasi tonton.
Aidil-Adha ini selami erti pengorbanan bersama program-program terbaik TV3. Majalah 3, 17 Jun 9 malam. 999, 18 Jun 9 malam. Salam Aidil-Adha, raya macam dulu-dulu di TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui tonton.
Sports now, the 2024 Australian Open. National singles shuttler Li Zijia overcame a tenacious Li Chia-hao of Chinese Taipei to reach the final on Saturday. Zijia had a shaky start after making continuous errors, costing him to trail 10-21 in the first set. However, he clawed his way back in the second set, winning 21-15 to force a rubber. Zijia sealed the game with a commanding 21-10 victory in the decider in just under 56 minutes. The victory propels world number 8 Zijia into a final showdown against Japan's Kodai Naraoka, marking his second final appearance in the last 4 tournaments. In the men's doubles event, national pair Chung Honjian, Muhammad Haikal's quest for their maiden Super 500 title ended in disappointment after a semi-final defeat to China's He Jiting, Ren Xiangyu. The first-seeded Chinese pair proved to be too strong, beating the Malaysian duo 21-18, 21-9 in just under 34 minutes. Meanwhile, in the women's doubles event, Lai Peijing, Lim Chiu Xian overcame third-seeded Yung Nga Ting, Yung Pui Lam 21-13, 18-21, 21-14. The victory sees the pair match up against Indonesia's Fabriana Dwi Puji Kusuma, Amalia Cahaya Pratiwi in the final. Earlier, national mixed doubles pair Tan Kian Meng, Lai Pengjing were shown the exit after they lost to China's pair Jiang Zhenbang, Wei Xia-xin. The pair lost 11-21, 11-21 in just 33 minutes. On to tennis now. The 2024 Stuttgart Open. Two-time champion Matteo Berrettini continued his stellar performance after claiming a straight-set victory over Australia's James Duckworth to book his spot in the semi-final. The 28-year-old Italian had a strong start, taking the first set 6-4. Berrettini maintained his dominance in the second set, sealing a 7-5 win and a place in the semi-final. With this victory, Berrettini will next face his fellow Italian compatriot Lorenzo Musetti in the last 4. Musetti had a troubling start after losing the first set 4-6 to Kazakhstan's Alexander Bukit. However, the Italian turned the game in his favour by winning the second set 6-1. The decider was short-lived as Bublik was forced to retire, handing the victory to Musetti. Turning to golf, the 2024 US Open, Swedish sensation Ludvig Åberg claimed a narrow lead after a fine display on a challenging second day at Pinehurst. The Ryder Cup star, who only turned professional 12 months ago, added a 69 to his opening 66 to finish 5 under par at the halfway stage of his Pinehurst debut and only the third major championship of his career. Patrick Cantlay showed resilience in a rocky 71 to finish on 4 under as his steady play under pressure kept him in contention as he navigated the challenging course conditions. World number 3 Rory McIlroy continued with his patient approach but bogeyed the last into a bunker and is one further back. World number 1 Scottie Scheffler came perilously close to missing his first cut since August 2022. A ragged round of 74 left him just the right side of the cut line on 5 over par. However, 15-time major champion Tiger Woods ended his campaign after a 3 over 73 left him at 7 over par. Joining Woods were several other big names including Dustin Johnson, Justin Thomas and Phil Mickelson. 17 Indonesian human trafficking victims rescued. The details after this short break.
Saya tengok penyakit ayah ni, dia muscular dystrophy. Jadi otot dia tu kalau koyak makin lama makin teruk. Saya takut sampai semua otot dia tak boleh pakai dah.
Nak berjalan balik tu memang harapan tinggi tapi memang tak boleh. Buatlah macam mana pun memang tak boleh. Makin lama makin susah. Nak baring pun dah tak boleh dah. Jadi macam gayat. Sekarang ni turun, baring, lepas tu nak pusing pun kena minta tolong dia.
Saya bukan. Dandan jongang keluar. Jangan marah-marah. Apa marah-marah ni? Lebih baik kita tengok melodi nak. Jangan marah-marah. Kalau kau nak tengok cerita panas, nak tengok gaduh-gaduh macam penat aku. Setiap hari Ahad 12.30 tengah hari hanya di TV3 dan juga stream melalui Tonton. Inspirasi generasi bersamamu di TV3.
Thank you for staying with us. Police have arrested a bank employee suspected of being involved in the fraudulent withdrawals amounting to 24.2 million ringgit from 4 fixed deposit accounts. Bukit Aman Commercial Crime Investigation Department CCID Director Datuk Sri Ramli Muhammad Yusof said the 38-year-old woman was arrested in Kota Kinabalu, Sabah last Thursday. In a statement on Saturday, Ramli said investigation so far has revealed the involvement of syndicate members from both inside and outside the bank who conspired to facilitate the withdrawal of the funds in question. This, as such transactions could only be conducted through internal collaboration. He also said the arrest was made after police received 4 reports from account holders and bank staff in early June in Petaling Jaya, Selangor, after the victims noticed suspicious cash withdrawals made in Kota Kinabalu involving their fixed deposit accounts. Ramli added that all the account holders involved denied any knowledge of the transactions and said they had never been to Kota Kinabalu to make the withdrawals. The case is being investigated under the Penal Code for cheating, and police are tracking and identifying several other individuals involved in the incident. Police rescued 17 Indonesian women who were suspected to be victims of human trafficking in a raid on a maid service company's dormitory in Shah Alam, Selangor on Friday night. All the victims, aged between 25 and 45, were rescued under Ops Pintas by a team of officers and personnel from the Federal Police D3 Anti-Trafficking in Persons and Anti-Smuggling of Migrants, a TIPSOM unit. Bukit Aman D3, a TIPSOM unit assistant head SAC Sofian Santong, said the 9:30 p.m. raid was carried out after police received information about the existence of forced labour involving the company. It was alleged that the foreigners were hired as domestic helpers but were exploited and had not received their wages for periods ranging from 6 months to 2 years. 3 men aged between 31 and 40, who are believed to be the victims' employers and supervisors, were also arrested in the raid. The case is being investigated under Section 12 of the TIPSOM Act. In Pulau Pinang, a senior citizen was found dead, believed to have been murdered by her own son, who is alleged to have mental health issues, in an apartment in Relau, Georgetown on Saturday. Timor Laut District Police Chief ACP Razlam Abdul Hamid stated that the suspect, who is also the youngest son of the victim, reportedly called and informed his brother about the incident around 5 p.m. The suspect's brother then alerted the police, who then rushed to the scene and detained the 40-year-old suspect at the apartment unit. Initial investigations revealed that prior to the incident, the suspect's eldest and second siblings had tried to call the 67-year-old victim, but their calls went unanswered. They were later shocked to receive a call informing them that their mother had been stabbed to death by the suspect using scissors. It was also found that the suspect had previously made death threats against his family members when they lived together in Batu Maung, besides being admitted to a psychiatric ward at Jalan Perak. The motive for the murder is still under investigation. The victim's body was sent to the Pulau Pinang Hospital for post-mortem. The case is being investigated under the Penal Code for murder. As Nightline draws to a close this time around, let's take a look at the late Vivienne Westwood's own clothes and jewels are being auctioned. The one of British fashion's biggest names collection contained looks spanning 4 decades, with the earliest dating from Westwood's Autumn-Winter 1983-1984 collection. With that, I'm Zahir, Kelvin Abdullah. Thank you for tuning in and take care.